Welcome in everyone. Today we are talking Way of the Hunter once again, and this time we are going to be covering the third dev diary. And oh boy, was there a lot given in this one. First, there was a lodge reveal, a quick look at the system for the missions and storyline. Then we had a look at the storage locker where we can pick out gear we want to use for our next hunt. Then we got a better look at the SUV and how it will help us in a particular way. And finally, we get to see more of the cabins and other places we can rest. We are going to have a closer look at each one of these topics, so let's get into it. I was just blown away by the information in this diary, and I felt like a lot of folks in the community felt the same. This 2-minute video is slammed start to finish with some great information. The lodges look amazing, and the Nez Perce Lodge does look like it could be 3 stories tall, so we will have plenty of room for trophies. There is no shortage of space as we get to see a few rooms with all sorts of mounting options. In the first scene, we can see a small and large style of live mounts. I think they did a great job on the different size options. From the Badger all the way up to the Moose will be able to have some type of live scene. And they aren't all traditional mounts either, with some of these live scenes actually being up on the walls. There are plenty of placards for shoulder mounts. The biggest detail is that the dioramas can be multi-mounts, with this display of the red deer, fallow deer, and roe deer in different stances and scenes. From this video, it looks to be based off their behaviors, such as calm and fleeing, though there is a mount called Wolf Attacking Chamois, which just got my hype through the roof, because we know for sure there are going to be plenty of multi-mounts to try and achieve and display at our lodge. For the multi-mounts, it does look like we will have a count for each animal needed to create that scene, and once we have all the needed trophies, we will be able to select this as a diorama for our lodge. This, in my opinion, is just truly incredible. I am so happy with the way they did the mounting system. It looks natural in the lodge, and everything really flows well together with the fireplace, the record player, and all the other assets. So in this title, we are going to be using a laptop as a store to purchase new equipment for our hunts, such as weapons, collars, binos, attachments for our weapons, and hunting passes. At the top of the screen, we can see email, shop, storage, sleep, and car, giving us access to everything in one spot. Now, in this quick shot, I did notice that Bushnell did make it in here with the Bushnell Prime 10x42 binos. So on the last video, I was mistaken. It does seem like Bushnell's gonna be in this one. In the store, on each rifle, we are actually given the action type, the magazine capacity, the caliber, and the weapon tier. This will make it easy to decide which weapon we really want to use for whatever animal we're hunting. We also have a few more rifles from Steyr that weren't in the showcase, these being the Steyr Pro Hunter, the Scout, the Zephyr 2, and the Carbon CL. We did see that each rifle does have its own caliber, so we won't be able to select a caliber for any weapon. I think we have plenty of options to choose from that will help us select the right round for the hunt we are on. We did see a 243 and a 223 caliber to help us out with those small game animals. I did take a look at the hunting passes that were mentioned to see exactly what was meant by this, and when I did, I noticed something we had talked about in previous videos. That being my speculation on the different areas of the map, and here we can see one is clearly called Bear Den Range. Now, I did think it was going to be called Bear Den Ranch, so I'd say it was pretty close but not spot on. We got a good look at the mission system as well, as it shows us ways to earn money by taking orders from restaurants such as Duck and Dine and Gourmet and Sons. Then we also have a look at missions for certain people like Richard Knox, who is probably a family member. and then Nicole Steele, who's a fellow hunter. Having a look at the storage locker, we can see that we will get a secondary rifle, which I know a lot of folks were curious about. In the image, we actually see an over-under shotgun, which is exactly what I wanted to see out of the shotguns. It's pretty much my favorite looking shotgun, even though I could see others being more practical in certain situations. Those style of shotguns are just, they just get me. There's what I like. We also see that we have multiple slots for gear, 3 for collars, 2 for weapon slots, both having 1 attachment each, and then we actually have 3 slots for other gear like binos or possibly a rangefinder. Another thing I noticed in the inventory menu was the scopes have different indicators as well. They have magnification, lens size, and lens quality. I would think the magnification is simply that how much zoom we will have for whatever scope we are using. The lens size I think will be depicted as how much of the field of view your scope will take up. Then the lens quality will most likely be like the quality of glass, and we'll see like a clearer picture or maybe like a more distorted, less clear picture, which I'm going to be curious to see how they implement that, because a lot of these scopes, you know, can have some really weird things about them and pretty distorted pictures. So I'm really curious to see how all the different Leupold stuff will hold up in this. So sleeping is a way to advance time in the game to make the most out of the time you have to hunt the animals you want. So this feature will help those that just want to hunt in a particular way. Now, outside the lodge is a parking spot where we have our vehicles to choose from. They did show us 3 of the skins in the menu, and I really cannot wait to see what other kind of skins make it in here. Now, one thing I noticed about this was underneath each vehicle name, it had like a thing that described them as off-road. So I'm kind of curious if we're going to see particular vehicles used for particular things. The vehicle does act as a storage locker where we can access the gear we have. That way we don't have to run all the way back to the lodge to rearrange our inventory. This is going to add a high level of convenience to players' experience, in my opinion. The maps are going to be massive, and I could imagine it being a hassle to hunt multiple species without this feature. Each map will have a number of campsites and cabins that will give you a way to rest when you're away from the lodge. That being said, it kind of means we will have to return to the lodge to buy items. It didn't look like we will have the ability to make purchases from our vehicle or sleep in it either. So each asset will have a particular purpose when we are away from the main lodge. Cabins for sleeping, and then vehicles for gear. Now, I don't know about you all, but this dev diary was just slammed with information, and I didn't feel like I could get every little detail figured out. So I'm going to be going over this one a couple more times to take a look at all the little hidden things that could be in there. Yesterday we were given some great information. It does sound like the media embargo is going to be lifted on August 12th. It is a Friday at 1700 CEST for streamers and content creators with the early access key. So you will be able to catch some of your favorite folks talking about the game. So you should go in there and definitely have a look. And just to kind of give everyone a couple different time zones to look at, that's going to be 12 p.m. for the folks on the eastern coast of the United States, 11 for the central time zone of the United States, 10 a.m. on the mountain time, 9 a.m. on Pacific time, and then finally 8 a.m. for Alaska. If you need the European times, the few I know will be 1800 for most of Central and Western Europe, 1900 for Romania and South Africa, and then 2000 for those folks around Turkey. I will be streaming on launch day, so make sure to follow me wherever you watch your streams. Like and subscribe to see more Way of the Hunter content and keep up to date. But with that, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching another one, and as always, have a good day.